Hey guys, welcome to this edition of Off the Cuff with me, Arioch. Nice to see you again. It's been a while. I'd like to apologize during this whole pandemic thing. First of all, I hope you guys are doing okay, and staying sane and everything and healthy during these really wacky times. And just when it hit, the camera on my phone decided that enough was enough. And I went to get a new phone and the stores were all closed. Apple was closed and everybody was just closed. So I couldn't get a new phone for, quite a while. But I do have one now. I hope that the picture's okay. And on this edition, we're gonna talk about a set of cuffs that come from where a lot of episodes in this show take place. I'm talking about, for you non-Whovians, Sheffield, England. I finally got a pair of Sheffield cuffs. Actually two, and it was kind of weird what happened. I got them both off eBay. The first pair I got for a really good price, but they're not Hyatts, they're Indian. Which I'll show you in a second. It's these, but we'll go into detail in a minute. And not long after that, a pair of Hyatt Sheffield cuffs came up. Now, of course, these are Darby's. I couldn't believe it, so I actually won these too. And now I can cross the Sheffield variation of Darby's off my list. I still need the home office pattern with the round key with the slot in it, and I need the flexibles and the solid state. And then I'll have pretty much, one example, at least for hands, of every Darby, that there is, so that's cool. Okay, so what's a Sheffield cuff? Why do they call it Sheffield? Well, because of Sheffield, England, all right? But these are distinguished by the key, which has an external thread, unlike regular Darby cuffs, which I have another pair here for comparison. And this is an internal thread. See, there's quite a difference. I really don't think that the Hyatt key is original, but it's pretty cool. Now the neat thing is, on the Hyatt, it's also hollow, because for even more security, and you'll never see it without a scope, but there's a pin inside the lock tube which goes in the center. It's much like certain plug 8s, and it screws in just like a regular screw key, but with external threads. And now the story about these is that around 1907 or so, Houdini was performing in England, and a little kid came up with a pair of cuffs to challenge him. And he took one look at them, and he recognized that they were Sheffields, and he said to the kid, he basically called out the little kid, because the kid's dad invented them and sent the kid up on stage with the cuffs to try and beat Houdini, which didn't happen. But anyway, the story goes that Houdini actually said, "Oh, I know your father. Isn't he, Constable, what's his name, from the local police force?" And it exploded from there. Another interesting escape side note is that if you look at the old catalogs for handcuffs, especially British ones, whenever they came up with a new design like the home office pattern or the Sheffield, and they started selling them, in some of the catalogs it says, guaranteed to defeat the so-called handcuff kings. So, escape artists, you can actually say, had an impact on the manufacturing of handcuffs over the years, going back as far as, the turn of the 20th century. I've gone into detail before about the Hyatt company, and these are probably later. Wait a minute. No, it doesn't say British made. Okay, it says hard right there. It's a little worn, that stamping, because they came in different strengths of steel. It says Hyatt best, and then it says warranted wrought, but it's clearly marked Hyatt, So there's no question. The swivel looks different to me than most other Hyatts. Most other Hyatts, the swivel is pretty round. Right here. You know, oval shaped for the ring to go through. But look at these guys. Flattened on the sides. Now, I don't know, maybe it was slammed in a drawer or something. Maybe they all came that way. This is my only pair, so I have nothing to compare it with. But like I said, they operate just like a regular screw key. These things would be a pain to escape from, let me tell you. They're a little tight. Right, there we go. And just like other Darbies, they just plain old snap shut. There we go. Now that was the second pair I got. The nickel plating's still pretty good on these guys. There's, you know, some wear, which is to be expected in cuffs at this age. These are the Indian ones. They're from India. Don't really know the date. You can see that the key is cruder, more of a corkscrew key. Okay, but they are Sheffield pattern. I have a pair of either Chicago or Cub Sheffield cuffs too, but I wanted, you know, vintage ones. Plenty of markings on them. It says like UMP 220, and according to the paperwork I got, it says that stands for Union Military Prison, and I have the paperwork for these going back to like 1980. And they also had a brass tag on them, which usually sends up warning signals among collectors, but this, you can tell, has age to it. And there's nothing on the tag except number 21. Very crude key, operates the same way. You can just tell the difference in manufacturing. It's the Hyatt, and it's just, I mean, these are solid. These are vintage. You know, these go back to at least, I would say 30s at the very least, because they have weight to them and the steel is good. But they just, the pattern's the same, the manufacturing was different. It might even be older. I don't know much about that prison yet. And they're bigger than the Hyatts. Normally I shy away from the Indian ones because you never know if you're gonna get a vintage one or not, but this was a reputable seller. Great pictures, great paperwork, and I knew right away that, yeah, they were the real deal. Oh yeah, the one side, I forgot, it's a little chewed up. It's almost like, you remember the old ice crusher hammers? My grandmother had one. It looks like they hit it with that, like there's a gazillion little dots, like something spiky hit it. So I don't know what that story is, but at least the one side operates perfectly. It's a little bent. You know, they've seen use. That adds to the appeal, in my opinion. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the Sheffields that I added to the collection. If you have any cool cuffs you want to share, just feel free. Oh, hi, Mr. Bean. Oh yeah, and we were also away on vacation for a little bit. Mr. Bean went on a road trip. Come here. He got bigger, but not much, right? Oh, yeah. Still a puppy. He's now just over a year old, aren't you? Like a year and 3 weeks. Okay, so anyway, hope you enjoyed this edition of Off the Cuff, and we'll see you again next time. What are you doing? You're such a baby.
Where do you want to